Well, hello everybody, how you doing? Welcome to the show. This is another one of those what the fuck moments coming up here, man. I've got bad news. For not only for America, for the world. If you are a biker, it doesn't matter what kind of motorcycle that you ride at all whatsoever, you're going to be heartbroken about this news right here. Because it's just friggin' devastating. Harley Davidson is having a rough time. I mean, they're talking about calling it quits here. They just cannot compete anymore. There's all kinds of problems going on. There's with motorcycles. There's pricing. There's the economics. We are going to get into this and we're going to find out exactly what the hell is going on and why this may be the end for Harley Davidson.
You don't have to be a biker to know about Harley Davidson.
Nope, sure don't.
Harleys are big, loud, fast, and inherently American.
Yeah, we'll get into that later.
You've been on a Harley Davidson. You haven't been on a motorcycle.
You get some of that instant respect just riding one alone.
And for decades, that iconic American brand worked. In 2006, the company's U.S. sales peaked. It sold over 260,000 bikes in the United States.
Damn.
And reported a profit of $1 billion.
Yeah, I put my part in there for sure. All of you guys out there that bought Harley Davidsons and pricing of the and had your bikes repaired. Yeah, you put in that $1 billion too. Because I'll tell you what, that's one of the big things about Harley Davidson. That the biggest gripe about Harley Davidson is that not only they're expensive as freaking hell, and we'll get into that later on why they're so damn expensive, but just to repair them is expensive as hell. You could, for a timing chain, you could go buy a damn used freaking car.
But after the recession struck in 2007, Harley's sales plummeted, dragging the stock price down with it. And the company still hasn't completely recovered.
In decades, they could wind up just disappearing. We'll all still associate Harley Davidson with being the greatest motorcycle brand in the world, but there won't be any motorcycles. Huh? You won't be able to buy one.
You won't be able to buy a Harley Davidson? Did you hear that shit? You guys, that's... Yeah. That's kind of big shit right there, what he just said.
So, what happened?
Yeah, we want to know. Tell us.
Harley Davidson got its start in 1903 out of a shed in Wisconsin,
where William Harley and Arthur Davidson made their first motorcycle. But the company didn't really take off until World War II.
Did you know that Harley Davidson was actually a friggin' war machine? No kidding, man. They had friggin' soldiers riding around on Harley Davidson with friggin' Tommy machine guns.
And in a way, if it weren't for the war, Harley Davidson may not exist today. During World War II, Harley Davidson produced about 60,000 bikes for the U.S. military.
This was when
a lot of people don't know that.
Never experienced serious machinery that can deliver. I mean, it's a machine of war, but it's also a hell of a lot of fun.
Damn right.
A terrific test for men and machines. They take the bumps in high gear. Now they're real veterans of the saddle.
After experiencing the atrocities of war, soldiers returned home and saw America in a different light.
Yeah, they came home and went, damn, man, that sucked. And check it out. You know what? I got to ride a Harley Davidson, man, in war. I wonder what's going to happen now.
And out of that, they created a counterculture that would become the building blocks for the Harley Davidson lifestyle.
Hell yeah.
America's a very conservative place at the time. And a lot of guys came back from that and they said, I'm not interested in that. I'm gonna get me a Harley Davidson motorcycle and I'm gonna go live on the road. I'm gonna live my life on my terms with freedom, mobility, attitude.
Between 1945 and 1970, the number of registered motorcycles in the U.S. jumped from 198,000 to 2.8 million. But it was Hollywood that set Harley Davidson motorcycles apart from the rest.
Yeah, years ago in the 60s, there were a lot of motorcycle movies that came out. And they portrayed a lot of the bikers, as the bad guys.
With films like The Wild One and Easy Rider featuring Harleys.
Oh, we represent to them, man, as somebody who needs a haircut. Oh, what you represent to them is freedom.
By the end of the 70s, Harley Davidson wasn't just selling motorcycles anymore.
Yeah, now we know all about that stuff. Yeah. The apparel, the boots, the friggin' everything that says Harley Davidson on it costs a friggin' fortune.
It was selling a lifestyle with jackets, vests, and t-shirts. Harley Davidson even had its own club called the Harley Owners Group for devout customers.
In short, if you owned a Harley Davidson,
you were cool. Oh yeah, that's right.
And
you were
baby boomers
freaking
took
cool.
notice.
The core baby boomers, they're the ones that really built Harley up into the juggernaut that it became in the post-war period.
Now, it's kind of hard to believe that, huh? That the baby boomers actually brought the Harley Davidson rise into America.
In the 80s, baby boomers were prospering, and so was Harley Davidson. The Harley Owners Group grew to more than 90,000 members. In 1984, the company made a profit of $2.9 million.
Yeah, baby.
Just 2 years later, profits hit $4.3 million.
Damn.
Harley Davidson went public in 1986 and continued to rake in cash.
Got a lot of money in those days.
In 2006, as its core customer reached middle age, the company's stock price peaked.
Wait, what? As the core customer reached middle age? What the fuck? I don't know how to take that.
It reported over $1 billion in profit.
Son of a bitch.
But then in 2007, the recession hit.
Yeah. The recession shit hit and knocked everything over. Right over.
Like many companies during the Great Recession, Harley struggled with its sales. Its stock price plunged by 60 points from its peak in 2006 to 2009. The 86% drop marked a 13-year low.
That is the rise and the fall of Harley Davidson right there you're hearing.
Before the recession, Harley had been trying to reach emerging markets like women and young adults with marketing events, beginner bikes, and smaller, more fuel-efficient models. But it had little success.
And at the end of 2009, the company reported $55 million in losses.
Unbelievable.
So to survive the recession, the company refocused on the kind of bike it knew its core customer wanted, which were big,
loud, monstrous, mean machines.
Models. And it worked.
It worked, of
Profits
course.
rode back up to $844 million.
See, what happened was Harley Davidson tried to play the game of the Rice Rocket stuff, the Kawasaki's and the Suzukis, and all that stuff, and they definitely blew it on that. But at least they brought it back up at that time. But guess what comes about new? I mean, this does not get any better.
In 2014. But not everything was as good as it appeared.
Nope.
Those profits just masked the brand's long-term issues.
If you looked at a chart, what you would see is not, this kind of thing where it goes like that, but more like you're looking at this kind of slow
gradual die.
The first issue is that Harley's core customer is aging. In 1985, a motorcycle owner's median age was 27.
Listen to this.
By 2003, it was 41.
Now,
and by 2018, it rose to 50.
Now you're old as fuck.
Which means Harley Davidson's customer base is only getting older. And right now, no one's taking its place.
Yeah, because of all of the Suzuki's and the Kawasaki's and the rice burners out there, are basically kind of like taking over, This is really sad, though. This is a part of America that is actually just being friggin' kind of erased.
Factor is the price.
Yeah.
Harleys are expensive.
No shit.
According to the New York Times.
You can get a used Harley out there nowadays for anywhere from, $6,000 on up to a decent one. From, Sportster from $4,000 on up through $6,000 on up to, $10,000, $11,000, somewhere in that area. A good used motorcycle, but a brand new basic Harley Davidson starts at $20,000 around there.
The average cost of a Harley is about $20,000.
Look, even up to $27,000 this is for a motorcycle, you guys.
They're also not practical vehicles for commuting and usually end up becoming pricey toys. Which leads to the third and final problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Harley Davidson's brand just hasn't captivated millennials the same way it did baby boomers. And the baby boomers that helped the brand.
That's because the millennials want a Harley for free. They want education free. They want food free. They want their Mary Jane 420 free. And now they want their Harley free.
Thrive also burdened the company with the reputation that Harleys are only for middle-aged white men.
Oh, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. I see tons of hot mamas out there riding their Harleys.
The company between brand loyalists and future growth. But Harley Davidson isn't going down without a fight.
That's
the
good.
person tasked with solving these issues is Harley's CEO, Matt Levatich.
He has the most difficult job in the world. He has the choice of just sitting there and riding out this slow erosion, but he's decided that he's going to take this opportunity, I think wisely, to try to ensure a better future.
One way Levatich is doing this is with Harley Davidson's buyback program.
That is a program that Harley offers on their entry-level bike known as the Sportster, where you can buy a newer Sportster and trade it in within a year and get every dollar you spent buying that bike on an upgrade. It's a great way to kind of get your feet wet and then upgrade to something that's better suited to you after you kind of figure it out.
And notice that they say that starts with a Sportster.
Through Levatich, the company is focusing on reaching out to new riders.
Women.
When Business Insider reached out to Harley Davidson for comment, a representative sent over a release about the company's current strategy, which focuses on expanding its global market and launching new products like electric bikes and smaller models. But right now, there's another obstacle standing in Harley's way.
We will have a 25% tariff on foreign...
Uh-oh, who's that? Is that the man? Hey, you didn't think we'd play him on here, huh? Well, here, listen to what President Trump says.
And a 10% tariff on foreign aluminum when the product comes across our borders.
Which means it's now more expensive to produce motorcycles in America. In response, the European Union introduced a retaliatory tariff on U.S. goods, including bourbon and motorcycles, which the New York Times reported would have made the bikes about $2,200 more expensive in Europe. To avoid the tariffs, Harley continued to shift manufacturing to other countries, which Trump and some of Harley's core customers didn't appreciate.
Harley Davidson, please build those beautiful motorcycles in the USA, please.
That's the other thing. Is Harley Davidson is supposed to be an American-made motorcycle. That is the friggin' balls behind. And to go and make a Harley Davidson motorcycle in another country is just kind of like a spit in American motorcycle face. That's my opinion.
Don't get cute with us. Don't get cute.
In contemporary industrial economics, you don't build the bikes in the US and put them on a boat and send them where you want to sell them. You manufacture them at the point of sale, and that way they can be properly aligned with the market.
With all these factors in play, can Harley Davidson grow its business while protecting its brand?
They are stuck, but they're stuck with a not unappealing problem, which is that even though they're stuck, they can still make a lot of money on the stuckness. You know, they still control a huge percentage of the market, and they're able to use that market control and the products that they sell in it to generate very substantial profits and share those profits with their investors.
And Harley Davidson can then use those profits to reinvest in the business and try new things.
The brand equity that Harley has is infinitely valuable. It's amazing.
But who knows if that'll be enough?
Yeah, because of the fact that, the biker world has just changed. That's all there is to it. It's gotten a lot better in some ways, and it's gotten some funky shit going on there in other ways too. But the fact is that Harley Davidson is our brand. It's the American brand motorcycle. To watch this happen to Harley Davidson and take the rise and the fall of this beautiful machine is just heartbreaking, to be honest with you. I still have a couple of them. I've got bunches of friends that have them and what have you. I also have Yamahas and Hondas also. Some Royal Stars and stuff like that, and a couple of trikes and what have you. But I'll tell you what, man, if this happens, this is not going to be good, folks. For somebody to even say the fact that the words that you may not be able to buy a Harley Davidson anymore, that just sucks. All right, guys, thank you for joining us on the show. We'll talk to you guys later on. Thank you for joining us again on What the Fuck.